money in your pocket, that crypto wallet, that bing bada bing ching ching big profit. Even in the market sideways, I'm looking for ways to get paid. I'm checking my coins around breakfast, then again around bedtime. Bet this, it's not financial advice, but I'm always right. I'm always right.
What is going on, believers? Guys, it is July the 4th. Happy Independence Day. Hope everybody's having a great day. My name is Believes, and this is Breakfast with Believes. And you know what? Since we're going to wait for just a moment, and since I can't help being hilarious, let's turn that into my background today. There we go. That's ridiculous. I love it. All right, if you're in here, we got monkeys in the house. Like, subscribe, get notified. We got lightning in the house. Now we got to get rid of the apes. Hey, happy 4th, man. I got to get rid of the apes because I am no longer partnered with the apes. So we'll have to get rid of that one and that one. And then my intro. And then the backer. All right. What's going on, Farm? What's going on, Anthony? Hope everybody's having a good morning. So, it looks like we are having just a little bit, don't get your hopes up, but we're having a little bit of a rally. But first and foremost, let's talk about the elephant in the room, the launch of Terra this morning, about 30 minutes ago. Terra was successfully launched. Now, I've tried to get in, but when you click on it, this is the interface. No longer partner with BTFA. Sorry about that. I set it up at the last minute. And I changed it to 8:05, by the way, because I was doing it at the last minute, and then Facebook said, well, you have to be 10 minutes, and it was 12 minutes. And rather than argue with Facebook, it's already too late. So I just figured I would set it for 8:05. I set it for 8:05. Then I just launched it at 8 o'clock. What's going on, Oscar? So anyway, this morning we got the launch of Terra, and you can come over here and you can look at it. There's not much you can do with it because it's not really for us. You can pop into MetaMask here. I've already connected my wallet, and it tells you introducing your organization. So if you want to launch a crypto, then here you go. This is going to be where you upload your logo, who the owner is, contact information. You're going to create that organization, and then I would assume that's when you start to populate everything in order to launch your token. Also, I have not gotten clarification yet on where the lending is. So I don't know, because I thought, what a great idea to be part of their like lending network and start loaning people money. I assume not for tokens, but for at least some sort of vesting process. There has to be some sort of vesting process, and I think the doctors want to do that, and probably, but yeah, why not? I did not get that NFT with the Mohawk, and what happened with BTFA is they just said that some things are not a match, and that was it. That was it. I was removed. At the beginning of each month, they remove people from the influencer chat, and they removed me from the influencer chat on the first of the month. So then Hobbs reached out to me and just said that Sway gets ahead of himself sometimes, and just removed everybody that he wasn't going to renew, and that was it. Before anybody got a chance to really tell anybody, we all just got kind of removed. And I mean, I'm sure they've got a capable staff left. It's it's no big deal. But the simple answer is no, I did not get a BTFA Mohawk. I had to make my own. So I'll find another NFT collection that does have mohawks, and somebody sent me one the other day, so I'm gonna check that one out. But they were like $200, and I would prefer $125 or something like that to make one. And they were like rainbow colored and stuff like that. So I'm gonna have to go through them for a little while and find the right one, or I'm just gonna make my own NFT. I'm sure somebody will make one for me. So, but anyway, so that's all we can do with it right now. You go through and look at it, and you can create the organization. But congratulations to Terra because they now have their first of what will probably be many, many, many utilities. And we're going to check in a little bit and see where that price action is going. But first and foremost, Bitcoin price action has gone on a little bit of a spike. Admittedly, I woke up about 3 a.m. because I was interested to see like what was going to happen here in the middle of the night. And we got to 3 a.m. and guess what? Boom, it took off. I don't know how long it's going to last because now we're in the American market. And even though the markets are not open today, you can look over, by the way, and you can see the Dow overnight was not very kind. It wasn't horrible. It was about break even. Yeah, it's down 22 right now. So it's close enough to break even to say that there's not really a whole lot of problem, negative sentiment, other than just the general negative sentiment that we already have in the market right now. So it's reasonable to say that the American market might, of course, most everybody's going to take the day off in America today, but that also creates a great opportunity for this market to really start to pump right now. You can see Ethereum right here is doing the same thing. Since 3 a.m., it's had just a nice little pump. But remember, it went from 10:48 through the evening hours all the way up to 11:12, it looks like. Then I started paying attention to it. It was running around here at 1100, and I thought, okay, well, the pumps already seems to have like died down just a little bit, and it just kept going and going and going and going and going, and it's back up to 1106 now. So, maybe we'll see a continued pump today. Remember, we're wanting to see some kind of pump to get us to, we got 9 days right now, so it's going to be next Wednesday. Next Wednesday is the day that we're really going to start to see some probable serious capitulation happening. So I figure that that's probably the last ditch. This is probably going to be that last ditch effort. Most people who are looking at the charts, chart experts, of which I am not one. I'm just a read and react sort of person. So most of the chart experts are telling us that we're going to have a 25,000 Bitcoin this week or a 28,000 Bitcoin this week. Of course, they said that last week and the week before, that everything is in line to have a massive run up. One of those final YOLOs right before we get the announcement. So it's possible that today is the start of that, because you can see right here Bitcoin is starting to move and it's starting to hum. Whether it's sustained or not, we're gonna find out. But we got a good buy candle at 3 o'clock, and now it's just a matter of let's see where it goes. And if this thing pumps and it goes, then good for us. So we'll see how that goes. Volt, on the other hand, 98.37, is almost ready to drop that zero yet again. It seems like every time Volt gets to that spot, right where it's ready to pop that zero, there is some ridiculous Chad bro that just Chad bros up. And, more power to the guy. They've still got 16 billion. Is it 16 billion? Yeah. They've still got 16 billion. And they're transferring everything to this wallet right here, which is a Coinbase wallet. So they're cashing out, and that would be probably American market. And if you look over here, this Chad bro has Chad broed out for, what's that, 30 ETH? It's not a bad haul, right? Good old Chad Brolington. All right, so anyway, we can see here that it's just, some Chad cashing out. And matter of fact, we can do total ETH right here. Man, it's been massive. I tell you what, the one thing that the one thing that you have to say about Volt is that Volt continues to do it. Like Volt continues and continues and continues to outperform the market right now. It's up 21.5% in the week, 5% on the day. On a day where the rest of the market is not doing as great, and it's just starting to turn around now. Terra is our big gainer so far today, up 5.8%, but down 5.1% on the week. A lot of sideways trading. So I guess we're going to fall right about here. Maybe? No. Right in here is probably where it was. Right there. So we're up a little bit on the day. Shift token's up 5%. Hex is up 2%. Phantom is up 1%. Goat is dead even. Wagme's down again another %. And then RBIF, Robo. That's Robo, by the way. I'm invested in it, so I'm going to start tracking that one for a little bit. But it's down about 10% on the day. And then over at Luna, you see Luna had a spike downward because there's a lot of sell pressure happening on Luna right now. And if you're interested and you want to know why, it's just because, so when you go look over here at Station and you look at the old price here. So our bag here, I've still got 10 million, and it's sitting at 1,282. But you go over here to governance, and you look at what's passed, right? Re-enable staking and delegation. That was 19 days ago. Has not been implemented. Distribute 50% transaction fees to the community pool plus increase proposer validated rewards submitted 26 days ago. Passed. Still not implemented. Burned 1.2% of all transactions submitted a month ago. Still not implemented. So everything that's happening over here has not been implemented. The only thing that was implemented was the depegging of UST to Luna Classic. That was the only thing that they actually accomplished. And, you know, I think that means that they're just unwilling right now to support it, which is why there was supposed to be some kind of the Terra rebels were coming in and they were going to take everything over. But I mean, you know, you can't take anything over unless you're taking it over from Do Kwon, and I don't think that Do Kwon wants to give up control of something that he is desperately trying to kill, because if he can get rid of this thing, then everybody's going to be forced to go to Tuna or Luna 2, and that's trading $2.16 right now. Nobody gives a shit about his pet project here that he's trying to fix for everybody. It's only got a $270 million market cap. Trading volume is down. And now remember, some of the trading volume is down big. If you look at Luna Classic, the Luna Classic volume is way down too. 182 million versus it was doing $1 billion a couple days ago and 500 million just 2 days ago. So, but the market cap has maintained the same. So the flow of money out has not been as big. But I mean, you can see here that, you know, there's a whole lot of building that they still have to do. So, you know, maybe we'll start to see something happen there. I don't know. And then we have let's go see if we got a pump on BTFA. I mean, we still want the best, right? So let's go see what we got here. 6409. Now that's actually that's C133. That's not the right one. Maybe it's this one. Maybe it's not going through. Yeah, there you go. 49.26. So it hasn't really moved too much. 2 green candles in the last 3 hours. So that's at least something positive. So we've gone from 46 to 49. So 2.7% on the day. Still down 16% on the week. And what about Bandex? Because we still have I still have a big amount staked in Bandex, which is going to be for like 6 more months, so, or at least 5.5 months, and no support there yet. Now, I do think that at the end of this, that Bandex still ends up being like the gem in the whole thing, I think that it ends up in that situation where not because I don't think it's going to have a higher market cap than BTFA. I don't think that that's going to happen. But I think that when you look at BTFA and you see it start to move up, if you didn't get in at that first million, then you've already missed it, right? But if this thing shoots up to 50 million market cap, if that's all it ever does, then it's a 50x from where it is, and it's only at a $1 million market cap right now. And what I did was I have a billion, I think it's a billion. You have to go to the dashboard to figure it out, but I have a billion tokens. And then when you go to staking right here, then I'm in the diamond vault. So I'm going to get 90% more of my tokens back, and I put in 500 million. So that's going to be 450 million. So if I can cash out and I have a much bigger amount, let's see what it's got here. So yeah, I'm in for 500 million right now. And remember, do not cash out early. If you cash out early, then you will lose 25%. And I don't want to do that. So right now we have 521,251. So that's going to be a significant amount to have towards the end of this. So we're going to have about 1.5 billion of these tokens, which is going to be a pretty good amount. So we might want to take the rest, because I have, after this, I have another 400 and... If I want to create a stake here, I still have another 470 million. So it's entirely possible that I could just take this whole thing for like 6 months and do it. But, you know what? Let's do it. Let's just throw it all in there. It says the minimum amount is 300 million. So let's do 450. And let's approve. There we go. All right, so it's only going to be like $4 to do. So let's confirm. All right, so we got the transaction in progress. We're doing 450 million more tokens. So now we have 2 stakes, which are basically going to double, or very close to it, 90% more in that period of time. Now, for those of you that have been listening and watching and are having a problem and are worrying about staking, the problem and the issues with... all right, there we go. All right, so we're good. We now have 2 in here. Let's refresh. God damn it. I forgot to create it after I did it. Son of a bitch. I just screwed that up. And that was $36 to stake that one, so we're gonna skip that one. We are not gonna do. We're gonna pay $36 to stake it. Oh, by the way, not that I think that it's going to be worth $36 at the end, but I mean, Jesus Christ, no reason for me to pay $36. Oh, there we go. All right, so it was already in. All right, so I got 2 stakes. I got one for 500 million, one for 450 million, and then we'll just see how this thing plays out. And it's July the 4th. So, if this thing, at some point this thing could take off like a rocket. If it takes off like a rocket, then we're good to go. If it doesn't, oh well. All right, BTFA, show me something. All right. So there we go. Now, so I think that the value on 972 million with 5 zeros, all right, so we have 972,500,000, and then that's times 0.12345,110. So basically, we just staked about $1,070. So when that comes out, if it doesn't do anything else, it'll be worth $2,000. So long term, we're good to go. But my point to the staking process was, if you're nervous because you've been watching the news, you've been seeing all the problems with the staking processes and things like that. We did look at Terra Pool. We'll go back and look at it again. We will go back to the Terra Pool and check it out one more time. So we can't do anything with it, by the way. You just get welcome to Terra Pool, create your organization project. Your contributions are secure. Your investments are really transparent. But then when you connect over here, then I connect my wallet, and then I connect the wallet, and I have to sign up and create an organization in order to go any further. So that's the limit of what we can actually see from this right now, unless I form an organization and decide to just list a token over here, which I might do, by the way. So we'll see. Because the listing fees are a lot less expensive than it would be if I use Terra Pool or not Terra Pool, then I use Pool.io or Pink Sale. So, and Pink Sale, I mean, come on. But I think it's interesting. So, Terra Pool has a black and silver token, and Terareum has a gold one. So, and theirs looks like that. So they're creating a little bit of diversity in what you're looking at. And by the way, I cleaned out everything. I am now available to follow. I got down to 1,322 that I was following. Now I'm no longer following anybody who's not following me, except new follows. So when I see something like this where somebody's following me, then I can like pop in now and just follow people who are following me if I haven't before. And I've been putting that on the back burner for a little while. I can follow YouTube again. I don't give a shit about the CDC. Simtron, Surgeon General. Why am I? It's really weird sometimes. You gotta admit that it's kind of weird that you see stuff like that. Like why am I following the CDC and stuff like that? Luna, Fear and Greed. I don't really care about that. There we go. All right, well, so we'll see here if Ethereum sustains itself. It looks like there's a little bit of a struggle. Of course, the American market wakes up and everything goes to crap. Just a testament, God damn it, man. Just a testament to the American market. So let's get back over here. What's up, Crypto B? What's up, Arm to Fight You? Eddie T, Morani. Imran, what's going on? Dark Knight, what do you think, believes? Are we flying or dump next week? I think we fly this week, and I don't know how much fly there actually is. I don't know that we're gonna really have as much of a pump as any one of us would like. But all the pieces are in place for this market to do a little more of this for a little bit longer, take us up to it really looks. The more I look at it, the more 25 looks really far away. But we can have a nice little run for the next couple days that takes us up to 25 before we start dumping again. But then we're going to start to experience new lows because we're going to get the CPI report on the 13th. When we get the CPI report on the 13th, then we'll get an idea of what the market is going to look like. Once we get an idea of what the market's going to look like, we then have 2 weeks because the FOMC meeting is the 26th and the 27th, and then the GDP number comes out on the 28th. So you can look at the Fed schedule. So this is the day right here that we're going to get the CPI numbers. So we're going to know what the inflation looks like on Wednesday, July 13th. Then on July 26 and 27, that's when we're going to get the FOMC meeting. And then on the 28th, we're going to get the GDP numbers. So, like, we've got 3 different levels of, oh my God, that we're going to have to go through. So, the best thing that could happen would be we get the CPI, and the CPI goes down from 8.6. Now, for it to go down 8.6, then we have to get an idea of, what it looks like a year ago. So what number's dropping off? So we're at 8.6 right here, but we were only at 5 on this May number, and it went up to 5.4. So we're talking about 0.4 is the move here. So it's entirely possible. And by the way, it could be that this goes down a little bit because gas prices are down. But remember, there's other prices that are still up. Like we haven't really had solid relief. We keep looking for it. We just haven't seen it. And so that being the case, we're at least going to be consistent at probably 8.6. If it goes down, then that's going to be one of those things that will cause a little bit of pump in this market. Then we've got 2 more weeks where this thing could then start pumping just a little bit if it's less than 8.6. And then we've got 2 weeks until we find out what the GDP is. And then we have GDP estimates. There you go. Atlanta Fed GDP tracker shows the U.S. economy is likely in a recession. First quarter GDP growth revised down 1.6. The credit rating firm downgraded its gross domestic product forecast to 2023 to 1.6 growth from 2 in its May estimates. Are we already in a recession? Yes, according to the Fed indicator with an excellent track record. So we're about to find out that the United States economy is in a full-blown recession. And that number comes out on July the 28th. So we've got the 26th and the 27th. And, by the way, the what you're trying to do when these guys are doing this, the whole purpose of the Fed raising the interest rates and doing this is because what they're trying to do, if you had a weekly focus on the top coins, I think you could get on BitBoy's channel. You know what? I reached out to BitBoy Crypto, and I reached out to Crypto Wendy B. I reached out to all of those guys and sent out like a curious email, like, "Hey, I want to get on your show. What do I got to do?" Because it's good for the brand, right? So that might be true, but I'm not allowed to say it now because they're reviewing me. So you might see me pop up on something like BitBoy Crypto or any other shows because I'm looking at spread awareness. I figured that's a great way to try and expand the brand, so to speak, and why not? So you might end up seeing me on some other channel or something like that. Or you might see people popping up over here as I try to do some new things. I hope you guys liked the news thing that I did yesterday. I just tried to pick a couple of topics and do it in a more news fashion. It's early and I'm not good at it yet, so I'm working my way through the whole process. But I'll get there. So, but anyway, the purpose of the Fed right now and what the Fed is doing is they're trying to stop you from buying crypto. in no uncertain terms. That's the purpose of what the Fed is doing right now, is it's trying to screw you out of crypto. And not because it doesn't want you to invest in crypto. It doesn't want you to invest in high risk. It doesn't want you to borrow money. And when I say you, I don't mean you, the retail investor. It really doesn't care what you, the retail investor, does. That's GDP stuff. What it's doing is it's trying to get rid of money in the markets that shouldn't be in the markets. Because remember, there are so many leveraged trades out there that are happening right now, and so many companies that are borrowing money at almost zero interest. I mean, you have to think about the numbers here. If my interest rate was, and some of the interest rates just until recently were next to nothing. So imagine you got a 1% interest rate and you're borrowing $1 million and you're shorting something and you make $2 million. Well, the payback on it is only 10 grand because it's only 1%. Like, it's crazy how much money you could borrow and how cheaply you could borrow it, especially if you were good for it in the long term. You know what I mean? And you don't have to have huge amounts of money. You know, like, for example, if you have $50,000, then they have to make you put up $50,000 and they'll give you $1 million because, they think that you're going to be good for it because that $50,000, that's going to be your margin amount. And, so much trading is going on for so little money that things are just out of control. There was a guy that I just saw who made $1 million this month with leverage trading. And I can't remember for the life of me what his name was. I didn't write it down when I saw it, but I mean, this guy had made $1,087,000 in the month by doing just leverage trading. Like, that's insane. That's the kind of numbers that just are out of control. And by the way, I put myself on Homelander's body. That's hilarious. Yeah, I do home remodel. People are starting to pull back. Yeah, as a matter of fact, if you go to something that I didn't see, and I looked at every once in a while, like, for some reason, my whole email was all screwed up, and I was getting like Zillow advertisements all over the place, and let's do current location here and allow, and you can see here some of the houses down the street over here from me are ugh. But there's a lot of these that you didn't see before that now say price reduced, that were just not saying that for a while. Like, they were just, whatever it was, just buy. And now you're starting to see there we go, price cut 3K on 7/1. So that was something that you were not seeing in these markets for a long time. And now it's kind of easy to find one. Like, within the first couple of ones that we did, we just found the first one. So, but there's a lot of price cut. Did they just price cut $100? That's crazy. Price cut 5,000. You're starting to see the market is buckling just a little bit on its pricing structures, and you're starting to see that it's becoming just a little bit more of a buyer's market right now. Price cut 10,000. Price cut 1,000. And 6 months ago, a year ago, you wouldn't see anything about price cuts. People were just buying and buying and buying. Now, the other thing is, good morning, Uproar. The important thing to recognize in that whole thing, by the way, happy 4th, BP. Yeah, we just looked at it. We can't do anything with it, but we did look at it for a little bit. I guess it's not important. The important thing about the housing market is the housing market used to not be what it is right now. And I think it's a testament that we're going to go through something There's going to be a lot of problems in the housing markets pretty soon, and we're going to start to feel the pain of that, because once your interest rates start going up, then your borrowing power goes down because you're paying more for less. And since there was no prime interest rate for a long time because the Fed wanted you to borrow tons of money, now they don't want you to borrow money anymore. They want you to just live off of what you got to try to curb demand, and that's going to include the housing market. So the demand in the housing market is going to go down, and that's when you have the buyer's market. The one thing that I wanted to say was this is what happened. This is what happened right here that created one of the biggest problems. Zillow has about 7,000 homes it now needs to unload, many for prices lower than it originally paid. So what happened was, not only did you have these companies out here, and these guys were buying, and they were selling you homes. Now, I do have some friends who are real estate brokers, and they tell me that this place is the absolute worst. That places like Zillow, places like Realtor.com, what they do is two things. First of all, they're buying up property. So they're buying up your houses to drive up prices. So if you put a house on the market, then they were going in and they were buying it up, and they were spending hundreds of millions of dollars to buy up houses because that was making the other houses more expensive. Then the second thing they were doing, and this was gross as well, if you are a real estate agent and you have a house, let's say you have a house at 123 4th Street. Well, you put up a sign, and anybody who sees that sign, they go look for it on Zillow. They go look for it on Realtor. And then they get to that location, and then when they get to Realtor.com or Zillow.com, then they express their interest by clicking on it and saying that they're interested. And then Zillow or Realtor.com, they then sell that person's information to the realtor. So the realtor who's doing the advertising isn't even getting the reward from their advertising. Those companies are stealing it from them because they're online and then selling it back to them at a markup. Like, it's crazy. It's just an absolute scam that's going on right now in the real estate market. But you know what? There's always been a scam going on in the real estate market, right? All right, so we're starting to get a little pullback from the market. Bitcoin is barely dropping, but that means Ethereum's dropping way more. And that continues, by the way. The negative sentiment and the positive sentiment on Ethereum, the swings have been much wilder than they've been on Bitcoin for a little while. For like 30 days now, it looks like the swings have been almost double. So if Bitcoin trends right now around 19,600 and its upside is 1.6, and you can expect that there's going to be a pump on Ethereum, so it's going to be up 3.5% at some point. It just seems like this thing is running incredibly aggressive. And as a matter of fact, there was Aave and Avalanche were both nice runs earlier today. So was XTC, Engine, and it looks like it's it. Let's go take a quick look on the 24-hour charts. Terra Classic USD is 6.49 cents. So it looks like they're still working on. There's the whole process by which these guys are trying to repeg it. And can you imagine being in the 14-day chart? You bought in on UST down here just because you thought, what the hell? Because I think that Austin did. I think he bought in around a penny or something. So I think he's feeling pretty good about this right now. But they're trying to, there seems to be a movement right now to try to repeg UST back to that dollar. And if they do that and they start to stick these two back together again, how horrible would that be? Like, that would just be out of control. Like, these guys, they just, whew, they never stop, man. Let's go check out, BlackRock is buying up residential properties from what I hear. I haven't verified. You know what? I think that a lot of people have, because, what they were talking about a long time ago was that the large corporations, they want a world full of renters. So you were seeing like Warren Buffett, people like that, like their companies were buying up rental houses, or to houses to make them rental houses, and then that in turn was creating this additional market where these guys are bringing in this revenue because it was good for business. It was good for the bottom line. The more houses you own, the more rent that you can produce. The better you can create, like a little management company that goes around and mows the grass and does all kinds of stuff, make it look, makes it look. If you do all that, then you got a good little setup right there. So what you do is you then have incentivized all these companies to just continue to buy up real estate property, and then the real estate property then becomes that asset that they're using in order to just continue to receive revenue. And then, of course, the real estate properties just continue to go up. And as a renter, you never get a breather. Like if you're, let's say your rent is, let's say if your rent was $1,000 5 years ago, then it's about $1,500 now. And if the market tanks and it goes way down, you're not getting $1,000 back. Even if it goes back to 1,000 prices, the people who have already bought the mortgages and stuff like that, they're not giving you that price again. And then that's going to mean that the market, the neighborhood, the prices are still going to be up. So you'll never see that $1,000 again. That profit will go to whoever the landowner is. That's just the way that it works. It's the way it always worked. They don't care about you at all. And that's why crypto represents such a great opportunity for everybody, because this is your shot. This is your shot to make your life different. This is your opportunity to make the world a better place for you and your family. That's why it's so important for you to take care of yourself. Like, don't get wrecked. Don't get wrecked on some kind of ideological principle that you have to have something for a long, long period of time, that the only way for you to get rich is to hold something forever. It is okay for you to make a trade. It's okay for you to do like a short-term position and then make a little bit off of it. And Safe Ape is moving, I just saw. I'm an investor in Safe Ape, by the way. But it's okay for you to take your profit. It's okay for you to create a better life. And guess what? If you make profit and you get in and you get your profit out and you move on to different tokens and you keep going, listen, it's okay. It's 100% okay, because you can always get back in and you can always better your position as long as you're making profit. If you're making good plays and you're making solid plays, don't let your fantasy and your ideology get in the way of you making money. Make your money. Change your life. And then if you still believe in a project afterwards, go put your money back in. It's something like, and we use Safe Ape as an example. If you're over here and you're thinking that this is a great product and that you love this product and that you want to be an investor in this product, then you could have bought in at this position up here and you might be wrecked based on this. And it's still the same good product that it was way back when. And why did I change that to green? There we go. So you might have bought in at one of those high levels, right? Or I mean, anywhere on this chart right now means that you took a big loss, right? Well, if you had made a profit, let's say from here to here, and you sold off in the profit margin, then you had an opportunity to accumulate again back here, and you could have accumulated based on just where this is. That's 5x 6x from where it is. So you could have accumulated 6 times the amount that you had invested in it. And if you had just waited and been patient long enough, then you could have accumulated at least 3 times as much as you had before, and still had an enormous profit that you made off of it by making the right play and having a little patience, showing a little bit of patience, and then boom, here you go. So let's see what's on the swap here. So mine's worth a half an ETH. I have 1.7, it looks like billion. I have 1.7 billion SAPE tokens, and it's worth 0.58 right now. So, not great. But I put in like $500 on it a while back. So, and that was back over here, like I was just saying. So, if it runs, then cool. If it 3x's from here, 4x's to the top, then it'll be worth 2 ETH. You know, successful play. But we'll leave most of it in, just because we want to see this thing do good. All right, so let's get into the news here. U.S. millennials own more cryptocurrency than mutual funds. How about this? A new survey conducted by the investing firm Alto sheds light that millennials in the U.S. prefer investing in cryptocurrency to mutual funds. Ha ha ha. According to the research, 40% of millennials aged 26 to 41 own some form of cryptocurrency. On the other hand, only 29% of millennials in the U.S. have invested in mutual funds. Also, millennials hold an equal number of stocks when compared to crypto, which are at 40%. And that's kind of the... So what you're seeing right now is when we start joking like we're all early, when we tell you that you're early, like that's what this really kind of means. Like we're all early into the crypto game. This is our opportunity, the opportunity that we will not get in the stock market. If you look at the growth of both of these markets over time, then you see the enormity of the growth that you've gotten in the cryptocurrency market versus the stock market. The stock market, your growth is still, you're still going to have growth. You've still had plenty of growth, but let's face it, if you put $10,000 into the stock market and it doubles, then you have $20,000. But if you put $10,000 into the crypto market, bear sentiment notwithstanding, then each time this thing runs up, I mean, what are you going to get from here? 1, 2, 3, 4. You're going to get 3.5 times what you put in. So if you put 10,000 in, you get 35,000 when you hit the top of this market, and then you can take that back out and you can play the long game with it, and you can continue to do that a couple times, and then before you know it, you're a millionaire. So, or you can just put it into 1 or 2 different cryptos and then put a small amount into some more volatile investments that might pay off for you if you do your research right, and then boom, life is just different. Your life just becomes different because now you have just a little bit more. And I mean, think about this. Think about the influencers that you listen to, the people that you talk to. I can tell you my life is different. My life is very different now than what it was a year ago, a year and a half ago when I got into crypto. Very, very different. I'm not a millionaire, but life is different. You know what I mean? And I'm in a bear market, I might add. So I'm not in a bull market. So I came in kind of at the end of that bull run. So I've been able to get a little bit out of it and do pretty well. And I have set myself up. I mean, you guys know I throw around some big numbers. So I have 30 grand in Phantom that's probably worth 6 grand right now. I have a bunch of different plays that are way down, but I've accumulated a little bit more during that period of time too. So I have a huge bag of Volt. I'm way up on Volt. So there's no situation in which that's not one where I have to accumulate any more. I don't think that's going to benefit me because I'm way, I did pretty good on that one. Terrarium, the same thing. And then I have WAGME, stuff like that. My WAGME at one point was worth 17 grand. So there's plenty of different plays that I have that are going to be life changing, but my life's already been changed, so it's been a good thing. But this is the opportunity that it represents. This is what we're doing right now. This is where the world's going to be different. The study suggests that the majority of investors are into cryptocurrency for the long term. Around 70% of the investors consider holding onto crypto until their retirement. A majority of investors have included digital assets in their IRAs. Claim the survey. This indicates that millennials plan to hold their cryptos for a minimum of at least 2 decades or more. When it comes to interest in digital assets, the vast majority of millennials either own crypto or are considering it. Almost 40% of millennials own crypto, which is greater than the percentage of millennials who own mutual funds, and about equal to the number of millennials who own individual stocks. Those who own cryptocurrency are likely to include it in their retirement portfolio. Well, and then you have this one here. Millennials favor real estate more than cryptocurrency. The only investment beating cryptocurrency among millennials is the real estate segment. A vast majority of the survey responded that they're allocating funds to invest in properties. 77% of millennials said that the real estate market is an attractive investment due to its ability to deliver high returns. And isn't that the dream, really? Don't you want... I think that would be a great thing, Sergio. I think that would be an absolute bomb. However, I don't think it's going to move the market very much right now. There's too many different adoptions. We're on the phase of where mass adoption is just taking over the country and taking over the world, and we're seeing it play out in real time. But what we've done is we have destroyed our world markets to the point that even all the good things that are happening have still made us all risk averse. So if Mexico tomorrow makes Bitcoin a legal tender, it won't pump the Bitcoin price too much. The only thing that's going to pump that price is getting to we have to get through this economic situation that we are in right now, and then we're going to take a step back, right? Once we start to feel the inflation come down, once we start to feel all of these things, once we start to feel ourselves coming out of whatever this is that we're in, this recessionary nature, this high inflation level, all of this pressure that we're all experiencing right now across the world, by the way, once we start to see that diminish, then risk assets will become the prime players again. Now, right now, according to this article right here, the number one asset is real estate, and that is less of a risk asset than cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency is the number two because that's the high risk to get that high reward. Who wouldn't look if you made a big play in cryptocurrency and you became a millionaire a few times over? Why not buy yourself 4 or 5 properties so that you're getting recurring revenue, so that you don't have to work anymore? Do you know what I mean? Then, if you need to, borrow against it. And, we go into a bear market, you can borrow against those houses because you own those houses. You can borrow against those houses enough money for you to live on until the next crypto boom. You know what I mean? It's once you've got it, you're good to go. So, that's where we all are looking to get. So, it makes sense that this would be the thing. Oh, and by the way, a quick update. GTA 6 cryptocurrency is going to be called crypto and not Bitcoin. There was a leak saying that there was going to be cryptocurrency in GTA, but it's going to be called crypto. So it may not be a real crypto. We don't know yet. We're taking this news as we get it. So, it may or may not be. May or may not be a thing. We'll see. And then here we go. Peter Schiff, he's just an asshole. And listen, I've been watching Peter Schiff. I've been watching Peter Schiff videos when he comes out and has conversations with people about how Bitcoin, and he's not wrong when he's talking about because he's talking about it as a risk asset. And what he does not see is he does not see the digital gold portion. So that's all. That's the reason. What he considers this to be is he considers it to be a high risk, high reward, high volatility asset class, and that he doesn't think that it has real inherent value. Okay, that's where Peter Schiff operates under the premise of. And I've seen him time and time again just getting dismantled lately from people in like little debates that he's been having over it. And Bitcoin entered the financial world more than a decade ago. Over the years, the world's first cryptocurrency has garnered an immense following, blah, blah, blah. In a series of tweets, Peter Schiff noted how the regulators of Puerto Rico decided to take down his bank. He pointed out how there hadn't been any evidence of crimes, but the regulators shut it down anyway. Noting how his customers may lose money, Schiff tweeted, "The reason regulators gave for turning down the sale is that post-sale I would own 4% of the company buying the bank. They said that due to the bad press about me, they did not want me owning 4% of the bank, even though they know firsthand the allegations in the media are false." So, of course, people are spamming him. Is this the moment Peter Schiff will understand the power of Bitcoin, or will his ego prevent him from that again? Here he is. So I am never buying Bitcoin. I don't see Bitcoin as an alternative to gold. Bitcoin is not a currency. Once nobody wants your Bitcoin, it's completely worthless. These are some of the things that Schiff has said about Bitcoin over the years. However, now he deals with the issue of centralized systems. The community pointed out how Bitcoin would have saved Schiff from encountering this. One Twitter user wrote, "The irony of this is so hilarious. Peter Schiff, you do realize that if you had been using Bitcoin, this was not possible. You should be loving decentralization." And dude, did you hear about Bitcoin? Additionally, certain individuals even asked Schiff to rethink his stance on other cryptocurrency, even if prolonged his hate for Bitcoin. While Bitcoin was initially rolled out to bring financial freedom to people, the focus might be shifting in the current world. The onset of the bear market has got many obsessing about the price of Bitcoin. However, times like this remind us how Bitcoin can be much more than its price. So it's incredible to see the guy who's been talking down about Bitcoin for so long get sucked into a situation in which, guess what? He just got crashed over that exact same thing because he didn't believe in Bitcoin and he got wrecked for it. So, boom. Like that's just, to me, that's fascinating that this poor guy got put in this situation. But, hey man, he made his bed, right? Let's go check what's going on in Ethereum. This is a crazy number, by the way. Over 80% of Ethereum stakers now in loss. Crypto investors continue to feel the effect of the recent market crash, as a chart from Will Sheehan, the founder of Parsec Finance, shows that over 80% of Ethereum stakers are operating at a loss. According to the chart, only 17% of Ethereum stakers are in profit because they bought the coin when it was trading at a lesser value than its current price. For context, Ethereum staking on the Beacon chain became public when the coin was trading around 600 in December of 2020. Since then, ETH has been able to cross the 4,000 mark and even touch an all-time high of 48.91. Going by the chart, it means that the majority of the current stakers staked their ETH when it was trading at 25 to 35. It should be noted that the chart did not take the additional rewards ETH staking might bring to these investors into consideration. As of press time, the additional rewards from ETH staking hover around 4.2% APY. Meanwhile, a separate Glassnode chart can confirm that the Genesis stakers of Ethereum are in profit. So the Genesis people are in profit, but nobody else is in profit on it right now. So that's crazy. All right, so we're having a little bit of a retracement right now. Looks like the pump that we were getting is over. America has woken up and is shitting on the crypto landscape. So what are you going to do? America. Now, here's the good thing, by the way. I think the good thing is that we're probably not going to see America taking a dump on crypto today, because people are going to be busy doing whatever it is that they do on July the 4th. So, maybe we don't see as much of a collapse as we might see in the market on a normal day. So maybe that gives it an opportunity for a nice big run. So we might see a nice big run. By the way, I changed over and I dropped Market Cipher B because this thing is working just like a Market Cipher B. So I changed over and now I'm using some EMAs. This is the 13, this is the 48, and this is the 9. So you'll see how they work out over short periods of time. So we'll see how they play out. I'm messing with them because I hear that they're more accurate. So over the next few hours, we'll see how they play out, and we'll see what it looks like. But it looks like they're coming back together, so it's sell time for crypto for a little bit. The hour candles are just a little bit different, but we had a good run. So, all right, but that's my time, guys. Let's hope everybody has a great day. Hope everybody celebrates the holiday in the best way that you see fit. Be proud to be an American today. If you're not an American, be proud that you have friends who are Americans. Haha. All right, guys, this is not financial advice. My name's Bleaves, and I will see you again for Bedtime with Bleaves tonight.